Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mechanics, electricity, computer science, innovation,
And we know that it's a brainstorm.
Yourself after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brainy one. Hello everybody and welcome to Brainstorm Broadcast. Today we're going to deal with another topic, tax payment and social welfare, especially in the Democratic Republic of Congo. In our previous talk show, we talked about business climate in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and we could understand it clearly that doing a good business also refers to paying tax, and taxes should be also according to the regulations. But now we're going to focus our attention on overtaxation. What can be done? And we're going to discuss many issues, many aspects of this topic. One more time, payment of tax or tax payment and social welfare. Joining me now on this set is Mr. Gaston Fumu, President of G4 Political Party. Hello, sir, and welcome to this program.
Hello, my brother Gay. Nice to meet you again for the second time.
For the second time, my pleasure to be with you again on.
I'm very happy, and I'm always proud of you, especially when you're organizing this wonderful show to discuss the climate affairs, climate affairs of Congo, especially in the sectors of the investment and investors, those who are affected and entrepreneurs. I would really love to say thank you and Happy New Year 2026.
Thank you so much. My pleasure one more time to welcome you here, and it's been a while. We talked about this wonderful topic and you highlighted the taxation, especially over taxation in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That was your concern, and I think today we're going to make a kind of assessment, right, based on what you know, what you have heard and so forth. But before we kick it off, we want to know, maybe some who are watching this program do not know exactly what is a tax. In a simple term, how can you define the concept tax?
Yeah. Okay. In your for just small corrections,
Yes.
You say was still because nothing has been resolved yet.
Yeah.
So my main concern is the wet living of the people of Congo. So people of the Congo are living at very disastrous conditions, whereby there's no consideration for them, either from the parliament, from the many people in the government. I think when I started this, my first letter has been written to the President of the Republic, and then second by the one I wrote to the Premier Minister of the Republic, include the whole sectors like Minister of Security, immigrations and intelligence of the country, and the Minister of Economy and Finance, to alert the situations. I think you live in Congo, you know, every day where we have this kuluna, there's a tenure they call kuluna, crimes over and over in the rural areas. What led us to fight over the text, because we have discovered that the text that people are paying, it leading to the chaos, whereby investors cannot come in the country to create employment. The entrepreneur, those who are working to run the country, the business people, they cannot run their business properly. There's no new business. The existing business are closing. For instance, I'll give us one example before we go forward. There were in these countries a productions of musicians. like you'll hear on Saturday, Sunday, there's a premiers, there's a so-and-so, there's a producing people to play and making people to have joy. Today, that thing does not existing anymore. There's no more productions by the sponsoring of the companies. Why? Because they are being affected by the tax. You imagine the country like the Republic Democratic of Congo import everything. We are importing everything. We are importing everything. We have nothing produced in Congo. The only thing produced in Congo is the water, and that water, it pays the same amount with the importing one. So we have known nothing in basics of the first need of the people in this country, whereby people can enjoy. We're importing every single things in this country. Include water we're importing, include the bread we're importing. And then with these importations, we have an extreme tax to pay. Like you have 99% of the tax, which is been collected by 302 tax collectors. Not one individual department. No, there are 300,002. So there's no way the country can emerge. There's no way an investor can come in to invest in creating job, to avoid the people, those who are jobless, to commit crimes. That's one of the reasons when we wrote a letter, we wrote it to the President of the Republic. We highlight them. We explain them from the beginning to down. This is the cost of ABCD. Because of ABC, we have this and ABC. We explain in our letters. We get a very good response from the President of the Republic. He asked the minister of that sector, the Minister of Finance and Budget and Economy, to find a solution on that situation. None of them have done nothing.
So far.
Nothing. We wrote a letter to the General Assembly, to Senate. None of them have produced nothing. The letter went, they repeat the same of the loi de finance that they did before. They put it again for the second time. Can you imagine? Can you imagine with that such situation, how will you invest in such countries? No business people in this country can tell you they are living freely. Those who are enjoying are those living in corruption. If you are in corruption, it's okay, it will work. Because you corrupt for you to survive, you corrupt for you to... There's a lot of things going on.
Okay.
So one of the reasons that send us to fight this fight.
All right.
We have been not understood by the different companies that are collecting taxes from the taxpayers or from business people. One of the biggest, like I said, Bralima wanted to close. We went to beg them, say no. They said no, we cannot continue. Right. We are not producing nothing to import. The most very expensive customer in the world, right, it's in Brazil and in Congo. Brazil produces everything locally, and then they don't want things to come from outside in their country. That's why they make it very expensive. Right. We are producing nothing. We are depending on importations, and then we are making our customer the most very expensive one. I will give you an example. Which example I will go to give you? If my phone was here, I will show you. I import a car, something that stuff for my house, and the one motorbike inside. In this car that you see behind me, I reached to pay $20,000 just for this to reach in Kinshasa. What I expend for customer, it's more than what I buy everything that was inside. How will the country go forward?
That's very difficult.
How would investors come in? Right. So, and then while we are talking here, if I can show you, I'll put in your disponibility. I'll put it in your hand. The numbers of the tax that I pay recently, not even 2 weeks, I paid myself. I'm affected by that myself. I'm not a business person. Okay. I do politics. And that's what I know. So that's one reason we are fighting this fight.
All right. That's worth fighting, right? I know there are multiple problems that need to be, first of all, identified and then try to seek solutions to those problems. But before we move forward, we'd like just to watch this video defining what the tax is exactly. Please take a look at this and we'll be back.
Hail Wall Street, Willie. What are taxes? Taxes are mandatory fees that both individuals and companies have to pay to the government. There are many different types of taxes that are paid on different things. Taxes are the main source of income for the government and help fund projects that benefit the community. What are the different types of taxes? Some of the main types of taxes are income tax, capital gains tax, property tax, and sales tax. If you want to learn more about them, we cover each in detail in our playlist called Taxes 101, linked in the description. Who pays taxes? Both individuals and companies have to pay taxes on their income, profit, sales, property holdings, etc., above a certain threshold. Taxes are mandatory, and the tax rates applicable are defined by the law, so a company or individual cannot skip paying their taxes, and if they do, they face a penalty. Who receives the tax money? Depending on the type of tax, the tax money is collected by the federal, state, or local government. For example, property tax goes to the local government, but income tax goes to the federal and state governments. What is the tax money used for? Depending on the level of the government the tax is paid to, it is used to fund different things. For example, tax paid to the local government is used to build schools and parks, but tax paid to the federal government is used to pay for things like Social Security, defense, or government-run healthcare programs. When is tax paid? Most types of taxes are due annually, but not all. Sales tax, for instance, is paid by the buyer at the time of purchase. Thank you very much, Wall Street Willie. You're welcome, Super Cooper. Remember, finance is your friend.
So, I'd like you please to tell us, because there are many problems. Simultaneously, we have understood that there is a connection between tax payment and investment. So it's very difficult when the people pay just the do over taxation in every single thing. We don't benefit local. We most of the time import goods, even services from outside. So what is the purpose of tax? So we want to know just the purpose of the tax, and then we'll be back in order to target different sectors where there is a problem.
Yeah, I will say the tax is something that is common. People must pay tax. The tax is something that is automatically need to be paid. When we talk about tax, we're not talking about exaggerations of the tax. The exaggeration of the collection of the tax in Congo is the problem.
And then is there a way to make a comparison?
Yes. We can give an example of like Angola, Brazzaville, Burundi, Uganda, Rwanda, our neighbors countries, the 9 ones, Tanzania. There's no country that make people to pay those such tax. And our poor countries, those one I'm naming here, they are poor countries. And Congo is one of the richest countries. It's not something to hide. Congo today, in Congo of today, people are more into mining, copper, cobalt. That's where they're making dollar. And which dollar has been given to them in cash, which they use on their own manner. So we are more considered of trying to make things easy for business people to run their business. They don't tell people the truth sometimes. They don't tell even the President of the Republic the truth. They are hiding to him. Let's say, which country can you imagine you buying a bag of cement in Angola, you have to bring it in Congo. You find out that cement, you buy it for $2. When you come to Congo, for it to reach Congo, Kinshasa, you have to spend $9. How much are you going to sell it? So you have to put it 12 or 15.
Very tough.
And then who's going to buy? And the person supposed to buy himself does not have jobs. In Congo, even we call them paysans, the people who, the farmers, the moms, those women who go to cut farm, they are paying tax. You go on the farm just to cut your tree and make it the coal. You have to pay.
Which is not done elsewhere.
Elsewhere, no way. That doesn't exist. But here in Congo, we do it. Let's say the things, a bottle of water. This bottle of water in Congo, it's about 400 rand, franc Congolais. The dollar has collapsed. But this bottle, small bottle, I don't know how many milliliters, it's 250. It already 400 franc Congolais. And then how?
So the dollar is decreasing, but
The price is still not even the same. It's actually going high.
Okay.
And then you have to ask the person, because recently last year the minister of health asked the country to put it under emergency that people must drink the well treated water, which our GDSU cannot supply to us. Because of the pump, it's not because of them. All the pump are old. They are 100 years, 50 years in the ground, so they cannot provide the good water anyway. By the way, I'm not criticizing Regideso. People have to drink the good water to avoid to get cholera and all these things that we were saying recently, and the mpox even. But now, Congolese are prevented to get this water because of the price, because the minister called those ministres sectoriels. They have decided that they want to maximizing the price, the money, which we don't know where the money goes. You understand? They have upgraded the taxes. Recently, there was a scandal. There's a scandal right now as we speak. There's people who cannot drive. People are not driving now during the day. They drive at night. Why? Because of taxes, they have asked them to pay more on the stuff of the cars.
So in your letters you wrote to the, first of all, president of the country and some of the Congolese authorities, what kind of problems do you name precisely? Because we want to narrow down when we talk about tax, the types of taxes we have in Congo. People sometimes have trouble to pay. What types of taxes we have here in Congo?
I cannot say, I don't want to say there are taxes that people of Congo don't want to pay. The tax must be reserved in one company or two companies. Let's say DGI is the collectors of taxes. Let's say DGRAD collects the taxes. All these small OCC or GFRM, they must be put beyond those ones, and they must know how to dispatch their cash. We must know at least 2 or 3 collectors of the tax. We cannot stand here. If you open a small chemistry or small shop, per day you'll end up by paying 10 to 20, just per day, 10 to 20 taxes, people who can work in your shop with official document. No, this is department of OJFM, this is department of DGI, this is the department of so, this is OCC, this is that. How do you expect that person to progress with his business?
So now, since we talk about tax payment and social welfare, you think that Congolese citizens benefit the tax people pay? Because there are many services.
No, Congolese people can say anything about them. They will pay if it is a good taxes, and they are paying. If it is a reasonable tax, the people will pay. People are paying tax even today.
Congolese people benefit as well?
They don't benefit from it. No. They don't benefit from that money. Most of the case, the money goes and the COO, deputy COO, those who are there, they are more richer than if in the country itself. People in this country in some department are richer than if in the department themselves.
So in view of what happens in the Democratic Republic of Congo regarding tax payment, you think that is it optional or compulsory for Congolese citizens to pay tax?
So please
Because they do not understand what does the money go, where does it go, and then what is the purpose of it, the use, the destination.
I don't know.
Are they obliged to pay tax or is optional?
I am really speechless, and I don't want to answer the question that tomorrow they will say I'm criticizing the state.
Yes.
So I can just say they need to be reasonable and think about the people. You know, the wealth is for people. Whereas I'm a political actor, and I don't want to point fingers, but because most of the time I already told on the live TV somewhere, I speak and I send my message to the President of the Republic that the M23, the real one, are in Kinshasa. Okay. When I'm saying they're in Kinshasa and in the government, it's because they are not caring the people in their heart. They're more on self-enrichment. They want to be rich. They're selfish. Let me say they're selfish. They're more in their own interests than the interests of the people of Congo. Why I'm saying that? We are importing everything and we are exporting only mineral, which they were given dollar. And then locally, nobody cares about the life of the living of the Congolese. There's no middle class, there's only high class and low classes. There's no such in no countries. And this tax that we are paying here, imagine we are under 117, almost 120 million Congolese in the Congo. Imagine if in one Congolese, let's say one Congolese, each Congolese pays $2 taxes. How much do we have yearly? We have money to survive. But yeah, there are companies that are paying million and million of US dollars as a tax. And where that money goes, nobody knows. We understand we have war, we are attacked by the invasion of the East. But all the money cannot go there because there's a lot of mining being explored every day. There's an exploration and there's an exploitation of the mineral in each single. As we speak here, there's tons and tons of copper and cobalt that leaves the country. Include diamonds, include gold. We are producing that, include the oil in this country, exploring oil. Nobody knows.
So we're going to explore many of the things, namely what the responses of the authorities, and then how can you analyze and see the result on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about tax payment in the Democratic Republic of Congo and social welfare. Please look at this video, which highlights 3 basic types of taxes. Please watch.
One of the first lessons you learn about money as a kid is that the price on the tag may not be the same as the price on the receipt. Why? Taxes. Taxes have a much bigger impact on our lives beyond just paying a little more for the things we buy. And the better you understand them, the better equipped you are to make decisions about them. All taxes can be divided into 3 basic types: taxes on what you buy, taxes on what you earn, and taxes on what you own. Every dollar you pay in taxes starts as a dollar earned as income. The main difference is the point of collection. Sales taxes are paid by the consumer when buying most goods and services. These taxes provide state and local revenue, funding services like education, transportation, and healthcare. The individual income tax is a tax paid on many sources of income you might earn, like the taxes taken directly from your paycheck. Income taxes are major sources of revenue for the federal government and many state governments. The third type of taxes are taxes on what you own, like homes, land, or vehicles, known as property taxes. Property taxes generate revenue at a local level. They provide funding for everything from parks to public safety services to additional funding for schools. Every dollar you pay in taxes affects how much of your income you get to keep, save, and spend. So understanding each tax type can help you make better decisions about everything from which job to take, to where to live, to how you vote. To learn more about the 3 basic tax types, go to taxfoundation.org/taxedu.
All right, now from the responses, based on the responses given you by the head of state so far, is there any improvement on the ground regarding tax payment? Because you try to sort out, to examine every sector, so there is a need for improvement. But so far, what have you noticed?
No, so far, the President of the Republic, I think there's one speech, I think the video is all over. He was being asked by an entrepreneur about it, that His Excellencies, we are suffering in our sectors over corruption, over tax, over harassment. The President says, I really agree with you, my comrade, my comrade, but the problem, even myself, ça me dépasse. You know what is ça me dépasse? Meaning it's over my head. These things of tax. His Excellency, Mr. President of the Republic, he says is above our understanding of these things of tax. Why are they doing this? And who are those? Are ministers. We are calling them the milice. They're like criminals in the government.
So is there any some institutions which should regular or oversee,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So to know exactly, because we talk about over taxation, we talk about corruption. So can you give an example? Because someone cannot pay tax without knowing how much, for instance, the good or services, because we import everything. People must be aware, even investors must be aware of the amount of tax they should pay. They can, what can they say? How do they notice that they pay over taxes based on what they pay outside or what the state has provided?
This example, let's say I'm buying this bottle of water at 100 francs Congolais, right? When I buy it or I produce it for 100 francs Congolais, and then the state send me regarding the 100, send me, no, I must pay tax over 70, let's say I must pay 80 francs Congolais as tax, and I produce it for 100. How much am I going to put? What is that meaning? You want me to kill people?
So is that not included in the price?
Yes, no, they are coming, they're charging from that droit d'accise. When you are counting everything, they produce, they say, no, you have this year, you have sell 100 bottle. Maybe I just say I sell it for 100 rand, 100 francs Congolais. And then at the end of the day, month end, they come with the invoice. They say, no, you have produced 1,000 bottle. This, you have to pay us 85% of your revenue. What is that? How much am I going to remain with? How much was my cost? How much was my cost to produce this bottle? How much I need to pay? As I said to you, I bring something from outside the country, and arrive at the border, I pay the money more than what I bought the stuff that was in the car. The money that I pay for tax to import these things from the customer and everything, when I calculate, is above the money I spent to buy everything that was in the car, include the car. The money is above that because everything is equivalent to 18,000 US dollars. So I found myself paying 40 something, let's say 38,000 rand US dollars over the importation in Congo. So I'm out of it. There's 20,000 I spent just for sending stuff to Congo. The car, stuff that was inside, include the car, it was value of 18,000, 18. And then to bring these things inside the Congo, I paid 20,000. What is that for? And these are furniture for the house and my used stuff. Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to pay that? I've got a proof of it. I can give it to you. I can give it to you now, and then you will see. You'll cry. You'll go crazy. I've seen $20, $50, $70, $125. You cry. This is not helping. It's not healthy as well.
And as a politician and as a Congolese citizen you yourself, even though sometimes you live abroad, but you are quite aware of Congolese realities, what we see here on the ground, what kind of policy that could be implemented in order to solve this situation?
The policy is supposed to be done by the members of the parliament. First of all, I did write to the parliament. I asked the members of the parliament to invite us before they finish with the law of finance. And they never tell us that law of finance was being done according to the friendship. It passed under the table. The biggest committees of the assembly is the finance and economy and finance. And it got 202 MPs who are sitting in the same board. Yes. And those all 202 are elected by the Congolese citizens. And all of them, they failed the Congolese. I wrote a letter I wrote a letter to the assembly, I wrote a letter to the Senate. I asked them to invite us so that we can show them what can be done. We don't say people must not pay taxes. We want at least people to be given chance to invest. The investors must be given chance to invest in Congo, and business people must run their business, because with that return, that turning over, that makes the country to move forward and be developed. We need the country to be developed. We need to stop this corruption. We need to stop these things of people just into money, the country is not going forward, the country is just going beyond. And when you say that, some are not happy.
Since you wrote to the parliament and so far you got some responses, is there any follow-up because you wrote, but it seems that there is no positive feedback. So what is the follow-up? Because this situation must absolutely all be or definitely get improved. So far, is there no any follow-up, no good positive feedback?
I can say they respond to us by the president of the ECOFIN. He promised us to invite us in the ECOFIN when they start treating the matter, but we were not been invited anyway. First of all, I would love to highlight it that we were not invited. We asked them to some recommendation that you see it's an out of, we don't want people, we want people to pay tax, but this want ABCD to be done to allow any middle or low classes to afford the ABCD. They never execute that. They says no, they want to maximizing the reset of the country, the money, and then nobody respond to us. For me and my team, we have decided from now on we not go to keep quiet. We will take this forward until the day the President of the Republic will stood alone and have a speech and cut over all these unnecessary taxes that are destroying the country and economy of the country. Because while they're thinking they are making money in paper, the economy of the country is busy going down. The people, the investors are busy leaving the country because they cannot afford to waste their money. The taxpayers, corruption is beginning more and more. People are not living good. The living of the people, it's chaotic. Let me say it's chaotic. There's no way people can live very good in Congo with all these taxes. As I said it before, right now as we speak, this is also part of the taxes. What they just put now in the road for the taxis and then motor. These people that those who are moving around with the scoot, with the motorbike, they pays 5 to 10 taxes a day. That's why you see always people dying because they want to skip away from police, from these people from the car, and it's complicated.
So it's kind of a misunderstanding because you as a political leader or some others, when you file that complaint, no, we notice this, we notice that Congolese citizens themselves remain silent. No, they don't speak out. They don't demonstrate. It means that they accept that condition to live like this.
That is why we are political parties. We are fighting for the people's rights and well living. My interest is the people, not me. I can afford to buy that bottle of water. I can afford to buy to my children what they want. But for others, some of us, we feel like, remember, a politician is a servant of others. It's not. I'm not in politics for me. I'm in politics for others. I need to lead people. I need to make sure that my people are all happy. The people of Congo have hope. And then, if they don't have hope, meaning there's no Congo existing. I want to give hope to Congolese. I want people to be united. I want people to understand one another. I want people to sit down and think about their neighbors. Did they eat? Did they have food?
Okay. So you know that, right? You are privileged to understand all these things. So now, what could be your contribution to help Congolese citizens be aware? Sometimes ignorance, they do not know how to stand for their rights. But what kind of strategies, what kind of things, what you can do to help Congolese citizens to understand their rights and claim it? What kind of strategies can you polish up?
On the conscience of the people of Congo, I cannot convince everybody because there are some. In the behalf of Congo, that's why I say I'm a leader of a political party called Generation 4. I stood for the interest of the people of Congo. And my more concern is to make the government understand that with this type of treatment to the business people and investors, there's no way the country will go forward. People will end up hating them and march against them on the road one day. Because today I'm talking something, I'm a stupid person. I'm talking some planning against me. I'm talking some goes around in gossip. For me, what is more concern for me is to bring more investors in the country and develop Congo and give work to people, give them hope, give them food, creating a middle class, not a low class and higher living classes. That is not good. From my view, I wish and I pray every day. I didn't stop writing letters. I just did a new letter now. I've launched the petition to the Congolese to sign over their own living. They must be the one fighting for their life. I've raised the voice and they need to accompany that voice. That's why I've put a petition to sign, so we'll take it to Parliament to ask them to modify the law of finance, because that is where everything starts from there. And then from there they will tell the President of the Republic that we are busy collecting the fund for the state, which is not true. They are collecting the fund for themselves. Yeah, so that money doesn't go to the government account. It goes to their pocket and their stomach. Let me make you laugh. If you walk in Congo, you find someone big tummies is driving a car, some with blue light, and they are not allowed to move around with the blue light. They are members working with a DGDA, customer, and those working from the DGU where they are collecting the taxes. Those people are very rich, all of them, and they are fighting over position. All of them, they've got a serious amount of the money in their account in overseas. And this is not right. This is not right.
All right. So in terms of assessment, we can notice a positive development so far. Ladies and gentlemen, it's vitally important to watch this program, Tax Payment and Social Welfare. Why tax matters. So Congolese citizens need to understand this. Please take a look at this video and we'll be back.
Where exactly do our taxes go? The answer is all around you. It's the roads and bridges you use every day. It's the schools you attend, the airports you use to travel, the hospitals you go to when you're sick. Simply put, without taxes, the country would be a barren, empty land. Taxes are, in many ways, extremely important in nation building. To put it simply, money collected from taxes goes to funding various government projects. These include building and maintaining roads, railways, and other forms of public transport, improving the country's education system by providing more educational facilities like classrooms and campuses, subsidizing tuition fees for students in public schools and state universities and colleges, supporting the healthcare system through funding public health programs and improving the state of our healthcare facilities, among many others. It also pays for the salaries of public servants, public school teachers, police officers, healthcare workers, local and national government officials, and employees, just to name a few. Taxes go to housing, infrastructure development for transportation and communication systems, water and power lines, etc. Many basic facilities, services, and installation needed for the said infrastructures are developed by the government or through its close engagement with the private sector. All these have ripple effects on the country's economic growth. In the last 5 years, the Bureau's shared contributions to the government's total revenues has been consistently getting higher, from a total collection of 1.43 trillion pesos in 2015 to the latest 2.192 trillion pesos, which is 11% higher than the previous year's collection. This has led to the Bureau contributing the most in government revenues, constantly meeting collection targets, with an average collection of 95% against its collection goals in the past decade. These achievements paved the way for numerous successful government projects, and it all came from people paying their taxes. More than just a social responsibility, paying taxes contributes to improving the lives of every Filipino. To know more about the Bureau, visit our website at www.bir.gov.ph. You may also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at BIRGovPH and subscribe to our YouTube channel, BIRGovPHL.
As president of G4, it means Generation 4. I can notice from the flag we have all national tribes like Luba, Lingala, Congo. So it means that you want to touch on every single sector, Congolese people, to know for their welfare and so forth. But now they're watching you, both leaders and citizens. What kind of message can you give them in terms of just to what can be done to be fixed, and what glimmer of hope can you give to Congolese citizens to be inspired from what you...
The Bible says the first commandment of the Bible, it's about love. The love is the first commandment of the Bible. So we're starting with uniting people. Like I stand for the unities of the Congolese, reconciliation and forgiveness, and loving one another. It's via that love that I stood up to ask the government to give and to have love for these the citizens of the Congo who have been suffering for years and years, to reduce the cost of the tax and giving them understandable living costs, because we don't produce. And to the Congolese citizens, I will ask them to not only trust and believing into mining. Let us believe in agriculture. Let us do agriculture and give life to those who feel that they are lonely in this country. Those who are voice or voiceless, let's fight for them. Let us all going back to our yard and do agriculture and get a first need of their stomach, which is food.
All right. So in view of this situation, what is your message to the prospective investors who could again trust in Congo? Because they say, no, Congo, no way, no security, no, things are not really in order. What kind of positive message can you give to them so that in upcoming days they can trust again?
All Congolese investors who are living in the DRC, those who found themselves being hurted by the tax collectors, because I know you guys are more affected on that. I would love to send you this message of encouragement that keep your hope. We are here to fight for your rights, for the good that you are doing in our country, because creating 1, 2, 3 employment for the people of the DRC is to save the life of someone, some children and some families. So we welcome you and we tell you that we'll fight this fight to the end until you get to the right of investing in Congo and do your business in a rightful way. I recommend and I ask all the investors who are very disappointed. I know you are many. You are many, same as I, same as we, same as they are as well. Even their children are also affected as you are affected. We'll fight this fight to make your life easy, to invest in the DRC and to bring more business, to develop Congo and to give up to the children of Congo and the citizens of Congo. Thank you so much. That's what I can send a message to the investors.
All right. Okay. No, doesn't matter. We still 5 minutes. You can take on national inclusive dialogue. All right. You can take in line with what we're talking right now.
It was just something to highlight. We, as a part of the taxes, I know we're gonna go to the dialogue. If it is a dialogue, we're invited. Our many, it's gonna be to defend the investors and entrepreneur and business, local business in Congo, to be respected, to be paid their money. The state is owing a lot of people money. They don't pay them. So that's going to be one of our main focus, and also the tax law to be reviewed before anything. Remember, when you go to dialogue, it's for the people of Congo. Are we going to dialogue for the people that we are making suffer? Are we going to go to negotiating and to talk about the people that we don't look after them? We need first that dialogue, for the dialogue to be successful, we must, by all means, review the law of finance before we go to dialogue. So while we go to dialogue talking politics, the people of Congo must have food in their table. They must have a better living life, especially when it comes to food and their living life. We go to dialogue, negotiating with everybody, but the first thing that I'll ask to the President of the Republic, before anything, we need to give a hope to the hopeless of the citizens of Congo who are very hopeless today. We need, before anything, to give them hope. That the citizens we are going to fight for, we are going to talk to serve, we are giving them food in table. That's what I can give a message in dialogue, in the beginning of in dialogue. And I will wish also for the reconciliation. Congo need a serious reconciliation.
So is that the G4 political party requirement before going to dialogue?
Yes, my requirement is first for to give the citizen hope. They have no hope, they have lost hope. Yes, they have lost hope. People have lost hope. We need, before dialogue, we need them to be giving hope.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. President Gaston Fumu, thank you so much for joining us. All right, thank you for your contribution. Appreciate it so much. We are at the end of our program. We talked about tax payment and the social welfare. We tried to focus on the Democratic Republic of Congo. There are multiple problems, difficulties, and challenges Congolese go through day in and day out. Politicians have their part, but also citizens, they need to stand for their rights. They need, first of all, to know their rights. And G4, here, President Gaston Fumu is ready. He talked a lot about things, about over taxation. So it's still a hope for Congolese citizens to live a better life in the days ahead. Thank you so much for watching this program. Stay updated on the second national channel, RTNC de Development. Bye. Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mechanics, electricity, computer science, innovation, yeah.
And we know that it's a brainstorm.
Yourself, after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one.